Good morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So as you can see, we have a kit again today. It's one of the new ones. Ooh, what's in the box? So exciting, isn't it? So today we have Brightest birthday kit. As you can see, I have not opened it yet because I always like to do this with you. And we have a little stamping spot, which is Azure Afternoon. We have some stamps here which say happy birthday, birthday wishes. I wonder whether this is a birthday one. Celebrate, enjoy your day. We have a little balloon, a star and some little mini stars. So that's what's in that. And then we will move on into the kit. I always love kits with boxes. It's always nice to be able to shove everything back in the box. Okay, so we've got some tear and tape, and we've got some pretty little plain dots. I don't think they've got anything particularly special. They've got a bit of a shimmer in the middle, actually. We have one of these blocks, which I have to admit I'm not terribly keen on, so I'm going to substitute one of my decent blocks for it. So it is a D-sized block, and potentially you can use it. It's just that I prefer to have something decent to grab hold of. So that's just me. If anyone wants my random block, feel free to tell me, and next time I see you, you can have it. So what else have we got in this kit? We should have instructions. Look at that, we do have instructions, and it looks like it creates 3 different cards with 3 different envelopes. And maybe I can actually use the instructions and get it right this time, who knows? Ooh. Oh look, we've got some dimensionals, so let's pop those to one side. Then how cool is this? So we've got this, it's not gold, it's not silver, it's one of those in-betweeny sort of flashy, I can't think of the word for it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about because you are seeing it as well. Then we've got some little star backgrounds, and we have some balloon backgrounds. We apparently have 4. Oh, well, I guess we'd have 4 of each then, would we? No. No. Wonder why we've got 4 of those. Maybe it's one is to go on top of the box or something. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, we've got 4 of them anyway. And we have 1, 2, 3 envelopes, also with the little flashy things. So that's cool. Oh, and the other side is blue. We have this one. So presumably that's going to go with this one. And the other side is yellow. 1, 2, 3 of those. And then we have, oh, look at that. That's got little flashy stars in it. And the other side is blue. Those are lovely. Oh, I'm liking this kit. Okay, so then we've got some cards. 1, 2, 3 of those. Let's just do that to it. And we will keep one of those cards out. Then we have 3 plain blue ones. So the cool thing with these is because they are double-sided, you could potentially cut it and create even more cards out of it. So I always like it when they do that with kits. So then we'll just pop those and we'll keep one of those out. Whoa, oh my goodness. Right, I'm just going to have to grab one of those out and carry on because otherwise I'll just sit there and go, whoa, look at that. That's the way I am when it comes to anything that's like blingy. I just sit there and get terribly distracted with it. It's like, oh, a squirrel, as one of my colleagues at work would say. We seem to have an extra one. So we've got 4 of each of those, and I'm wondering whether they are just an extra. They could well be an extra. That's rather cool. I like it when they give us extras. And then we have 1, 2, 3 card bases of the yellow, which looks a bit like Daffodil Delight to me. Let's pop that with that. Oh, look at those. They are fabulous. So we will Oh, I should have been just keeping one of those and one of those and getting rid of the rest of those. And I wonder how many of these we're going to need. Looks like one of each colour. 1, 2, 3. So let's pop the rest of them over there. Oh, look. It's sticky. Whoops. All right. Might just... trim that one and put it there so that I can put the rest of them there. And then this looks like it just has what's in the stamp set for us to know what's there. Oh, look at that. They've actually done it so that it sits in the right place. Interesting. Cool. So let's pop the rest of this back into here, because clearly we don't need that at the moment. In fact, let's put that down the bottom. We might as well chuck these bits in because I'll use what I've got on my crafting desk already rather than breaking into new ones. And right, apparently we need that. We're going to need that. I think that was it. And as your afternoon can go back in there, and I'm just going to grab my big one out. Equally, if you don't have a big one, it won't matter because you can ink it up. So, number 1. Now let's have a look at the entire lot of instructions this time, shall we? Because it actually tells you what to put with each card, which I never managed to get round to this properly. So, card number 1 uses that, those 3, that and that. Okay, which are both stamps. Oh, and the yellow background. So that is card number 1. Let's tuck that over there. Card number 2 is clearly that one. And that uses that, and that, and that. And I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Oh, that's supposed to be that. Okay. Some of those and the saying. So let's pop that to one side. Then the last card must use all of these. Whoa. Okay, moving on. And that's it. So good. All right. We will move back to the beginning and we will go to that card number 1. All righty. So we have enjoy your day. Where the heck are you supposed to put that? Oh, that's on the inside. Right. I'm going, it's going to get covered up if I put it on the outside of the card. That doesn't make sense. All right. You know what I'm going to do first off is, this is what I do now with all my stamps so that I can then fit them back onto the bit of thing that they came off. So I actually just grab my texter and go roughly round it. Okay, so now that I've done that, I now know where each stamp actually goes, which kind of puts my mind at rest, even if it doesn't put anyone else's mind at rest that I've just done that. So we need... Oh, apparently that little stamp there is supposed to fit. Kind of does. There you go. Into there. All right. So we will do it. We will do as they say. Just going to move it around a bit, stick it down. Oh yes, look at that. It worked. Excellent. So the only other thing you need to make these is something to clean off your stamps. So I use the chamois, stamping chamois. And literally all you do is damp it down with a bit of water, squeeze it out a little bit, and then it's good to go. So I have to admit, I use that so much, and it's fabulous. So useful for just about everything. So then it says that this one here is this. So let's just see how we go with inking this one up. And sticking it down onto that one there. There we go. Clean it off. And take that back off, put it back on there. Then we have well, it now reckons that you add it onto the yellow and then you add the rest of it together. So all right, we will be good and do it the way we're told. There's first for everything, isn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that, it's already coming off. Let's just take those ones off as well while we're at it. And one there, and one there. Get rid of those. There we go. That is on there. Then we want to start adding these. Apparently these just have one dimensional in the middle of each. It's nice and simple. 1, 2. Wow, completely missed the middle of that one. 1, 2, 3. All right, what does it reckon? It reckons the red one in the middle. Then it says the purple one over here. And there's the green one. That's actually a really cool card. And then this. Oh. Now, if you can peel it off and leave everything intact, then you could do something with that. And I will show you what you could do with that. Oh my goodness, that actually, you know, this has just become one of my favorite kits. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Really impressed. All right, I'm going to just show you something quickly with this, if I can find. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have some wide tape here. I'm going to take my watch off because what I want to do is just stick it onto there to get a little bit of skin on it so it's not quite as sticky. And I'm hoping that this works. So if you rub it down really well, I wonder actually whether I should have cut. I should have done that first. Okay, I'm actually going to cut this excess off here. Right, so I am hoping this works. I may have snipped a little too far in at one point, which if you heard the sharp intake of breath as I went, oh, that was what happened. So Now what we need to do is we need to work out how to get rid of this background. Kind of like this. And then stick that down onto there. Now, I don't know whether this is going to work, but the plan is that the tape will actually come off the top of it as well. Oh, crap. I think that might be easier said than done, actually. Come on. I wonder whether it would be easier with this one. Got it, got it, got it, got it. So the thing is that if you take the tape off, it sparkles way better. And that's it. The tape is now off. So that was probably way more complicated than it actually needed to be perfectly honest. But that is how you can then use the inside of it. So that was a good extra, wasn't it? Okay, we will pop that to one side and do something with it, and I'll show it to you in my blog. So we've got one card done. Let's move on to card number 2, which is this ice cream card. And again, I am so much loving the sort of blingy outside to it. So this one has happy birthday on it. So let's just grab our happy birthday. Should probably check that we're in focus. Oh, it's looking really good actually. Yeah. Is it too light? There we go. No, maybe it was a bit too light. Apologies if it was too light. And then I like the curve on the happy birthday. There we go. That gives us our happy birthday. I think that's the only thing that gets stamped with this one. So we'll pop the ink pad away, put happy birthday back on its perch. Looks like it's the only thing that gets stamped. And so this gets taped down. 1, 2, 3. Oops, went over the edge, never mind. We'll just back it up like that. And then that sits directly onto there, hopefully with a similar sort of gap going all the way around the outside of it. Looks about right. Then this one has 3 dots down the back of it, not dots, dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And sits like that. And then happy birthday has 2 dimensionals on either side, one either side. I'm not making the same mistake as I made with the last kit that I put all the dimensionals along it and then discovered that I had to move them all. So then happy birthday goes just there and there. And card number 2 is, you know what I've forgotten? I've forgotten the blingy bits, which aren't terribly blingy because the rest of the card is quite a lot more blingy. So let's just go with, apparently it's one of each on this. Oh, let's pop that back over to this side. One of those. Okay, I can't do that. So I don't like it when you have something that's almost opposite. So I'm going to have to go with something that's in completely different places to where they've placed it. So there we go. That is my 3 little blingy bits on this one. This one gets 6 blingy bits. Ooh. Right, 1, 2. Oh, it's not those blingy bits though. There you go. Interesting. 3. Oh, okay. Again, I don't like to, I like it so it changes things up a bit. Yeah, okay. All right, I will put one there. And I don't want it, see, this is my issue, is I don't want it on there and I don't want it on that angle. So then I'm forced to put it about there. Just, I don't know, maybe it's an OCD thing, card making OCD, who knows. Anyway, that is that one done, and on to the final card. So we have birthday wishes. Oh look, this has got little blingy dots on it. Birthday wishes. So the reason that I take these off and lay them down before I put them onto this is because, for example, with this happy birthday that's got the curve, if I was to put it onto there, potentially I might straighten it and then it wouldn't be the right curve on it. Whereas if I let it sort of just take its own form on the desk before I put it onto, before I pick it up with my block, then it's going to be right. So hopefully that made sense. Oi, come on. We can do it. Why are you stuck? Thank you. Gee, terribly rude of it. And let's pop that onto there. Feel like maybe I need to ink up my ink pad again, because it feels like it's getting a little light in colour. So potentially if I was using the proper ink dot that they gave me, then I wouldn't have something that looks a little light in colour. But there you go. I'm not, so I do, if that makes sense. All right, so it's saying something about using some of these dots. Now, where the heck are we using the dots? Because that is not making sense to me. And I can't see how they have used them. Let's have a look at the actual photo. Oh, there you go. It's dotty on the background. That looks cool, actually. All right, I'm going to have to import a piece of scrap paper to do this, because I want my dots to be kind of coming off the edge of the card as well. Dots, Heather. Did I clean that? Must have done. Haven't used that one. Wonder if I was supposed to. Or maybe it's just a random extra stamp that... Well, mind you, we also haven't used the Celebrate, unless that was supposed to go inside the middle of a card somewhere. Maybe. Alrighty. You know, that really does seem like it needs extra ink. Give me a second. I know I have shown you how to ink up stamp pads before, but you know what? We're going to do it again. So you just grab your ink and kind of rub it around into this, like this. And then just take, potentially a clear block works just as well as anything else. And somewhere around here I have a tissue. Just give that a quick. I licked it, I admit. I licked it to get a little bit of something onto it, because you know what, it's only me using this block. I will clean it again before class, I promise. And hopefully now, oh, look at that. So then we are just going to add these and I am getting ink all over my stamp. That is really impressive. And even on the block. Wow. Wow, Heather. That is really terrible. I think it's because it's on such a big block for a tiny stamp. But there you go. I am just going with it. Now, that should be good to sit on there now. Yep. So obviously you don't have to do the entire background because you're going to have a card sitting on top of the whole thing anyway. Oh, that looks a bit cleaner. Shove that back onto there. I like to try and keep my stamps in the right places. And then, oh, go back to the instructions. There they are. So apparently this one gets put up on dimensionals. So we will dimensionalify. I wonder if that's a word. Dimensionalify. There you go. You heard it first. Courtesy of me. 1, 2. So we have now dimensionalified the back of it. Let's make sure the card opens the right way because that would be a bit distressful putting it up on the wrong way round. There it is. Then we have birthday wishes. So it looks like this one gets a couple of dimensionals on the back of it. 1, 2. Goes up onto this. Hopefully that's about right. Not quite even. Looks a bit better. Then the back of this gets a bit of this stuff, which is tear and tape adhesive, not just this stuff. And that then sits, by the look of it, in the middle of the whole lot. That looks about right. Looks pretty good. And then we have some little dotties. Apparently one of each colour this time. So there we go. 1, 2, and 3. And that's it. And that's it, folks. Let's just chuck everything out of the way. Bring the cards back in. Make it look presentable for the end of the video. Sure, it doesn't really matter. But oh, look, we could do it so that there's one like that. Doesn't that look nice? That actually is a really cool kit. I'm really excited about that. And I'm quite excited to do something with this other piece that I've got here. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet. We shall see. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, actually, having just about to say that I will be back next week, I'm actually not sure whether I will because I will be in Singapore next week. So I may try and do a bit of a live from Singapore just to sort of show you around Singapore a little bit. And then the following week I will be in New Zealand. So again, I may try and do something from there. I don't know how well that's going to go onto YouTube. So it may be that I'm off for a couple of weeks on YouTube and just on Facebook. But let's see what happens. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. And if I'm not here next week and the following week, I will be the following week. Can't remember the date. I'll put it in the comments. Okay, thanks. Bye.